Democrat Congressman from Wisconsin, Mark Pocan. Congressman, thank you very much indeed for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Stuart.
I was just surprised earlier today at the rather fiery language which was used by Democrat leadership, talking about ransom. There was fiery language. It just didn't seem to me to be a form of negotiation. It seemed to me to be a way of beating down your political opponents, and frankly, sir, it seems to have worked. Your comment?
Well, it seems like, where the negotiations are right now is on the Senate side. Senate Republicans and Senate adults are willing to try to put forth a deal. We haven't seen exactly what the deal is yet. We've heard some inklings of what it might be. But we all need to get something done by Thursday. When I go back and talk to people, people don't understand Washington, don't understand why we can't get our jobs done. And, I have to admit, I'm in that group. I don't understand why we don't take this more seriously.
Well, Congressman, at this moment, we're hearing about the latest House Republican plan as it's proposed. And it's a very clean plan. Essentially, it is extend the debt ceiling, extend the CR, the spending plan, no strings attached, except push members of Congress, the administration, cabinet members, White House staff into Obamacare. That is the only caveat. It seems like the way is clear. Surely, aren't we closer to a deal given the fact that the Republicans appear to have caved on some issues here?
Well, I think we're closer to a deal because Democrats and Republicans in the Senate have been talking to each other and working. I just talked to Republican legislators who still don't know exactly what the proposal is that we may or may not be voting on this evening. So we still have to see if the Republican Party has finished negotiating within its party to see where we're getting. I think what's hopeful, though, is that in the Senate, Democrats and Republicans are working as responsible adults. Okay. And if we can get our House to go along, we might have something in place.
Would you accept, you and your staff, along with members of the White House staff and the cabinet people, would you accept going fully into Obamacare like the rest of us?
Well, I think we're the only group that's actually mandated to be in the Affordable Care Act. So, I think
you're getting the real discussion. Would you abandon those subsidies and go into Obamacare on the same grounds as everybody else? Would you do that?
Stuart, I think the American public looks at this debate you and I are having right now and wondering why we're not talking about reopening up the government and the debt ceiling. Those are the big issues we should talk about.
Yeah, but
and the rest of this,
it's a direct
we can have
question,
conversations about.
Will you accept that? Will you,
Stuart,
if this is the way we get a deal, would you accept it? Would you go fully into Obamacare? Yes?
Yeah. Stuart, I think one of the points, first of all, I told you, we're already officially in Obamacare, but secondly,
but you're getting subsidies.
Stuart, what you're doing right now is exactly the problem that happens in Congress where people don't actually have a conversation about the real issue that's in place.
No,
the real issue is we need to reopen the government.
Which is the only caveat that the Republicans in the House have. That you, members of your staff,
that's today. That's in the last hour. They've had other caveats.
The way we all do.
Sure. Stuart, I think the priority should be, as the Senate has responsibly in a bipartisan way been doing, figuring out how to make sure that we can reopen government and lift the debt ceiling. And the rest of the issues we'll be glad to have when we have a debate on the budget. We've been asking for over 6.5 months. We haven't had a budget too long in this country. It's irresponsible not to. So you can have all the other discussions you want once we reopen government and lift the debt ceiling. But right now, let's have a debate on what's important. And getting lost on details, that's what I watch happening way too often here.
All right, Congressman Mark Pocan, Democrat, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate it.